Have you ever told someone something personal and later wish you hadn't? Have you noticed how quickly people judge when they hear about your dreams, struggles, or even small wins? In our daily life, we often feel the urge to share everything. Our plans, our pain, even our private thoughts. But have you ever wondered, what if silence is stronger than words? Let's take a small example. Imagine a planting a seed. If you keep digging it up to show others how it's growing, will it survive? No, it needs quiet, care, and time. The same is true for many things in life, especially the most valuable ones. When we share too soon, or with the wrong people, we might damage the very thing we're trying to grow. There are thoughts, experiences, and inner truths that lose their power when spoken out loud. Not because they are weak, but because they are sacred, and some things are not meant for everyone. Buddha taught the value of right speech, but he also taught the power of silence. Sometimes, silence is the most powerful response, the deepest protection, and the greatest wisdom. Before we dive deeper into this powerful lesson, welcome to Wisdom Woven, your place for calm thoughts and deeper understanding through the timeless teachings of Buddhism. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribes. So please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. It means a lot and helps us share this wisdom with more people who need it. Now let's explore something deep and quiet, something the Buddha himself understood well. There are certain things in life that should not be spoken about, not because they are shameful, but because they are too powerful to be scattered in the wind of casual talk. The Buddha remained silent when people asked him certain questions, not because he didn't know the answer, but because the answer could disturb more than it could help. He understood that timing, readiness, and depth of understanding are everything. Some truths are like fire. They can light a path or burn everything down, depending on how and when they're used. So, the wise choose silence over noise, depth over display. Today, in a world where everything is shared from meals to moods, keeping something private feels strange. But this is the way of wisdom. What you don't say can often protect your peace, your purpose, and your path. In Buddhism, inner transformation is often quiet. It's not loud, not public. A person who truly grows spiritually does so in silence, like a seed sprouting underground. So ask yourself, are you protecting your inner growth or putting it on display too early? Are you sharing things that are still growing inside you? If yes, then maybe it's time to pause. What you keep within is often what makes you strong. Don't let it scatter in careless conversations. Be still. Be wise. Keep the sacred, sacred. The weight of words, karma, and the power of silence. Listen carefully, dear one. In the quiet moments between your thoughts lies a treasure, a truth often forgotten by many. Words, these tiny sounds we create, hold power. They carry weight like stones in a bag. Some stones are light and easy to carry, but others are heavy and burden the soul. Every word you speak is a stone placed into your bag. Some words build, some words break. Some words heal, others harm. The wise know this. The unwise forget. In Buddhism, we speak of karma, the natural law of cause and effect. Every action, every thought, every word you send into the world comes back to you. When you speak without care, when you share secrets too soon, when you reveal your deepest thoughts to ears that do not understand, you create waves in your karma. These waves ripple far beyond what you see. Imagine a pond. When you toss a pebble in, ripples spread wide. But what if you throw a big rock? The ripples grow fierce and reach the farthest corners. Your words are like these stones and rocks. Some words cause small ripples, others cause storms. Sometimes, silence is the greatest gift you give to yourself and the world. Silence is not emptiness, it is space. Space for reflection, for healing, for growth. There is a story in the ancient texts about a man who was known for his sharp tongue. He spoke whatever came to his mind, not caring who was hurt or pleased. One day, his words caused a great quarrel among friends. The man lost many companions because of his careless speech. But when he learned the value of silence, his heart changed. He began to think before speaking. Slowly, He healed old wounds and built new friendships. You see, silence is a shield. It guards your mind from distractions and your heart from unnecessary pain. The Buddha himself advised his disciples to practice mindful speech, only speaking what is true, necessary, and kind. If your words do not meet these three marks, better to remain silent. Consider your own life. How many times have you spoken in haste and later wished you hadn't? How many times have you shared a secret only to regret it? These are lessons from life's own teacher, the experience of cause and effect. When you speak too much about your plans, others may sow doubt in your mind. When you reveal your struggles, some may use them against you or misunderstand. Not everyone deserves a place in the quiet temple of your thoughts. In the Zen tradition, silence is a practice, a way to listen deeply to your inner voice. When the mind is quiet, wisdom speaks. When the mouth is closed, the heart opens. Your words are precious seeds. Plant them wisely, water them with care, and protect them from harsh winds. Imagine your mind as a garden. If you scatter seeds everywhere without care, the garden will be wild and chaotic. But if you plant carefully, choosing what to nurture and what to leave out, your garden will bloom with beautiful flowers. Your silence can be a garden of peace. Not everyone needs to enter it. Not everyone should see its blooms. Keep your inner garden sacred. There is no shame in silence. It is not weakness. It is strength, a strength born from deep understanding. Remember, the greatest masters of Buddhism often sat in silence for days, months, even years. In that silence, they found the truth beyond words. You are on a path. Sometimes the best way forward is not to speak, but to listen to the breath, to the heart, to the quiet voice within. Words can bind you like chains or free you like wings. Choose carefully. Do not let your words scatter your peace like autumn leaves in the wind. Hold them close, weigh them with wisdom. If you must speak, let your words be like gentle rain, nourishing, soft, and life-giving. Remember the story of the Buddha sitting under the Bodhi tree. He did not shout his enlightenment. He did not spread it like gossip. He sat in silence until the truth was ready to be shared. Your silence is your strength. Your words are your power. Use both wisely. When you feel the urge to share something precious, pause. Ask yourself, is this the right time? Is this the right person? Will this word build or break? The answer will guide you. Sometimes, the best way to keep your karma pure is to keep your silence sacred. The world is noisy, full of chatter and distraction. Your silence can be a light in the darkness. Hold on to it. Protect it. Cherish it. In silence, you find freedom from the chains of unnecessary speech. In silence, your heart becomes calm like a still lake. In silence, the truth speaks the loudest. Remember, a single word can change a life, for good or for ill. Use your words with care, with love, with deep understanding. And when you cannot find the right words, be silent. Let your silence be your wisdom. Let your silence be your strength. Let your silence be the path to peace, the path to awakening, the path to true freedom. So walk carefully on this path. Speak wisely or not at all. The choice is yours. May your heart find peace in the power of silence. May your words bring light to the world. May your silence be a refuge for your soul. This is the teaching of the silent master, the teaching of the wise, the teaching of the awakened. Embrace it, live it, be it. Listen carefully, friend. There's a treasure inside you. This treasure is not made of gold or silver. It cannot be touched or held. It is the treasure of your spirit, your mind, your true self. Many people search outside, but the greatest treasure lies quietly within. When you start to walk the path of wisdom, it is like planting a seed deep in the earth. This seed grows slowly. It needs patience, care, and silence. If you shout to the world about this seed, it may wither away. The seed of spiritual progress is delicate. Why do you think the Buddha taught silence so often? It is because words can scatter the precious energy of your inner work. When you share your spiritual progress too soon or with those who do not understand, it could be like wind blowing away the warmth of a small fire. Imagine carin a lantern. This lantern lights your way in the dark. If you raise it too high, it might break. If you show it to many, some may try to take it or put it out. But if you hold it close and protect it, it will guide you safely. Your spiritual progress is like this lantern. It must be kept safe. It is your sacred journey. If you rush to tell others about every insight or feeling, you may lose the depth and power of that experience. In the forest of life, many voices call out loudly, seeking attention. But the voice of true wisdom is quiet, steady, and calm. Protect it by choosing when, where, and with whom you share it. Some people may not understand your journey. They may judge or criticize. Others may try to take advantage of your openness. This can slow or even stop your growth. The wise one understands. Not every ear is ready to hear a truth. Not every heart is ready to hold your story. Share only when it will help your path or another's. Otherwise, keep your treasures close. This does not mean you hide your light completely. It means you share wisely. The moon does not shout its light to the stars. It shines quietly, and all who look up can see. In Buddhism, progress on the path is often private. The Buddha did not boast of his enlightenment. He quietly taught those ready to listen and understand. He chose silence over empty speech. Your mind is like a garden. You plant seeds of kindness, patience, and insight. If you let wild animals trample your garden by careless talk, your plants may die. Protect your spiritual progress like a gardener protects young seedlings. Shield it from harsh winds of doubt and careless words. Many times, when people share too much, they seek approval or praise. This is the trap of the ego. True progress does not need applause. It grows quietly in the heart. The ego wants to show off, but wisdom wants to be still. The Zen Master often reminds students, be like a deep lake, calm on the surface, full of life beneath. Do not rush to tell the world your spiritual victories. Let your actions and peaceful presence speak louder than words. If you walk calmly and kindly, people will notice. But if you shout, your words may fall on deaf ears or bring misunderstanding. There is power in silence. When you hold your spiritual treasures close, you protect their purity. Think of a sacred flame. If you blow on it too hard or expose it to strong winds, it may go out. But sheltered, it will burn bright and steady. Your inner work is sacred. Treat it with respect. Also remember, the mind is like water. When still, it reflects clearly. When disturbed, it is murky. Talking too much about your inner journey can disturb your mind. Silence helps calm the water and lets truth shine. Some things are meant to be experienced deeply, not explained simply. Others may try to force their own beliefs on you. When you share too much, you open the door to confusion and doubt. Be careful who you trust with your inner thoughts. Not everyone wishes for your growth. The Buddha taught to associate with those who help you grow and to avoid those who bring confusion. This is why keeping your spiritual progress private is a wise shield. When you share your growth with a sincere friend or teacher, it can deepen your understanding. But careless sharing with many can scatter your energy and slow your path. Do not mistake silence for weakness. It is strength. Silence is a tool. Use it well. The Zen Master says, speak only when your words are more beautiful than silence. When your spiritual treasure is safe inside, it will grow stronger each day. You will find peace. You will find clarity. And when you are ready, your light will shine without effort. Until then, protect your treasure. Nurture it quietly. Let the world wonder about the calmness you carry. This calmness is your true power. Remember, the path to awakening is not a race. It is a steady walk. Speak less. Listen more. Observe your mind like a silent witness. When you share your journey with care, your words become seeds that grow in fertile hearts. But if you scatter seeds in dry soil, they will not sprout. The same is true for your inner words. Your spiritual progress is a gift. To yourself first, then to others. Honor it by keeping it protected. Keep your treasure close, like a pearl in a shell. Do not throw it to the waves of gossip or idle talk. Your peace is precious. Guard it. Your mind is your temple. Let no careless words disturb its quiet beauty. Each day, meditate on silence. Let it become your friend. In silence, you will hear the whisper of truth. In silence, you will find the strength to continue. Trust the silence. It is the soil in which your treasure grows. Be patient. Be wise. Your journey is your own. Protect it like the rarest jewel. When you do, you will see your path become clear. And one day, your treasure will shine so brightly, it will light the way for others. But that day comes only after careful guarding and deep inner work. So remember, not everything must be shared. Some things must be held silently, tenderly, close to the heart. This is the wisdom of the ancient path. This is the way of true spiritual progress. Listen carefully, my friend. There's a fire inside each of us, a quiet flame that burns deep within our heart. This fire is the desire, the intention, the will that moves us forward in life. It may be the wish to learn, to create, to love, or to find peace. But this fire is fragile. It can light up your whole path, or it can burn out quickly if you're not careful. In our world, people often speak freely about their desires and intentions. They tell others about their dreams, their plans, even their fears. But I tell you, the flame inside is not meant to be shared carelessly. When you show your fire to others too soon or too openly, it can be snuffed out, or worse, stolen. Imagine a candle flame in the wind. If you carry it with a cover, it stays bright and strong. If you expose it carelessly, the wind will blow it away. Your desires and intentions are like this flame. They need protection. Why protect your flame? Because the world is full of distractions, doubts, and sometimes people who do not want to see your fire burn. When you reveal your deepest wishes, you make them vulnerable to judgment and negativity. Others may discourage you or will try to change your path. Your flame can flicker and fade if you allow this. In Buddhism, we learn that desires themselves are neither good nor bad. They simply are. But unguarded desires can lead to suffering. If your intention is pure and your heart steady, then keeping it private will help it grow stronger. This silence is not hiding, it is nurturing. You must be the guardian of your own flame. Hold it close. Feed it with mindfulness and patience. Do not waste your energy explaining or defending your wishes to those who do not understand. Instead, let your actions be the proof of your intentions. When the time is right, your flame will shine so brightly that others will see it without needing words. Until then, keep your desires quiet, like the seeds that grow deep beneath the soil. The roots gather strength before the blossom appears. Many are tempted to share their plans with others for approval or encouragement. But remember, approval is fleeting and encouragement can come with conditions. True strength comes from within. Your intention is sacred. Protect it as you would protect a precious jewel. When your flame burns in silence, it is more powerful. The Buddha taught about the importance of intention, satana, the will behind every action. If your will is strong and clear, your actions will be wise and skillful. If your will is scattered, your efforts may falter. Think about your desires like a quiet fire in the dark forest. If you shout to the world about it, you risk attracting not only warmth but also wild animals and storms. But if you keep it low and steady, it can guide you safely through the night. Some people think sharing their desires will help them stay accountable. But accountability can also come from within. Trust yourself to be responsible, to nurture your goals with quiet focus. Do not let the need for attention steal your peace. When your flame is shared too much, it loses its sacredness. When others see your fire, they may try to control it, to put it out, or to change its direction. Protect your inner flame fiercely. You must understand this deeply. Your desires and intentions are part of your true nature. Guard them well, for they will guide you to your purpose if you allow them to grow in silence. There is a power in silence that many do not understand. It is the power to cultivate strength, to reflect clearly, and to remain undisturbed by outside noise. When your intentions are silent, your mind is free to focus on the right steps without distraction. Remember the story of the bamboo that bends with the wind but does not break. Your flame is like that bamboo. flexible but strong, silent but alive. When you protect it with wisdom, you will stand firm even in difficult times. You may ask, how do I guard my desires without becoming closed off or secretive? The answer is balance. Guard your flame, yes, but do not let fear make you hide from the world completely. Share your light only when you're sure it will not be extinguished or twisted. Practice mindfulness to observe your intentions without judgment. When desire arises, acknowledge it gently. Do not rush to broadcast it. Let it mature in your heart like a flower waiting to bloom. This is the way of the wise, to know when to speak and when to be silent, to protect your inner fire while walking through the world openly and with compassion. When you understand this deeply, you will find peace. You will stop seeking validation and instead find strength within yourself. Your flame will grow steady, shining softly but powerfully. In the quiet of your heart, your desires will guide you like a gentle light. Others may never know the full depth of your fire, and that is perfectly fine. What matters is that you know it, that you nurture it, and that you walk your path with integrity. So, my friend, remember this. Your desires and intentions are precious. Keep them close like a hidden flame. Protect them from careless words and doubtful eyes. Let them grow quietly inside you until they are ready to shine in the world. This is the secret of true strength, the silent power of guarding the flame within. Whispers of ego. Why your good deeds need no audience. Listen carefully, friend. In the quiet garden of the mind, many seeds are planted. Among these seeds, there is one called ego. This ego is like a restless wind that stirs the leaves and clouds the clear sky. It is subtle, but it always seeks attention. When you do something good, the ego whispers, "Tell everyone," so they will praise you. But the wise one remains silent. Why? Because the true value of good deed is not in the applause it earns, but in the peace it plants within your heart. Imagine a lotus flower in a muddy pond. It blooms silently, without demanding notice. The beauty is not less because it is unseen. In fact, the hidden beauty is often the most profound. When you help another quietly, without a witness, you're not only helping them, but also watering your own soul. But if you seek praise, the deed becomes a weight, a burden on your spirit. You begin to act not from kindness, but from desire for reward. This is the nature of ego. It turns pure intentions into performances. It changes selfless giving into a currency for approval. But the path of wisdom asks you to look deeper. Why do you give? Is it to fill your heart with joy or your ears with applause? True generosity is like the flowing river. It gives without holding on, without counting who watches. If you find yourself craving recognition, pause. See this craving as a small fire in your heart. Let it burn itself out. Feed it not with your words, but with silence and humility. The Buddha taught that clinging to praise and honor is like holding onto a hot coal. It only brings suffering. Instead, let your good deeds be like the cool moonlight, gentle, unseen, and enough unto themselves. Remember, every time you boast or share your good deeds to gain approval, you are planting a seed for future suffering. The mind becomes restless, craving more attention, more praise. This cycle never ends. But when your kindness is private, your heart remains light. You give freely, not for reward, but because it is your nature. This freedom from ego's demand is liberation itself. Many seek fame for their kindness, but the wise seek the joy of kindness itself. Like the silent rain that nourishes the earth without making a sound, your acts of goodness are most powerful when unnoticed. The Buddha never asked for followers to tell others about his compassion. He simply showed it through actions, quietly, without fanfare. So, ask yourself, what is your motivation when you help others? Is it to be seen or to truly serve? This question is the mirror that reveals the whispers of ego. When you catch yourself wanting applause, bring your mind back to the present moment. Breathe deeply and let go. The approval of others is fleeting, but the peace from selfless action is eternal. There's no need to announce your kindness. Let it be a secret joy, a hidden treasure within your soul. This secret strengthens your spirit more than any words ever could. You might wonder, if no one knows about your good deeds, how will the world become better? The answer lies in the ripple effect. Quiet kindness spreads quietly, touching many lives without a sound. Like a single candle lighting another, your hidden good deeds light the path for others to follow, without fanfare, without need for applause. The ego seeks the spotlight, but the soul seeks the stillness of a deep forest. In this stillness, your good deeds bloom naturally, without show or effort. Practice giving without telling. Practice loving without boasting. Practice kindness as a silent song only your heart can hear. This is the true path of the Bodhisattva, one who helps all beings without attachment to recognition or reward. Your good deeds are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of compassion. Water them quietly, with pure intention, and watch how they grow beyond what the eye can see. When you live this way, your heart becomes a sanctuary free from the noise of ego's demands. Your mind becomes clear like a calm lake, reflecting only truth. The world will still see your kindness, not because you announce it, but because it shines from your being like the sun behind the clouds. This inner light is stronger than any words you can say. It is the light of wisdom and true compassion. So remember, the whispers of ego will always try to pull you towards seeking applause. But the wise listen instead to the silence within. The silence that says, give because it is right, not because you want to be praised. Give because your heart overflows, not because you want to fill a hollow place inside. This is the freedom that Buddha offers. Freedom from a need to prove yourself. Freedom from the chains of ego. Live your good deeds quietly. Let them be a sacred secret between you and the universe. And in this secret, find your peace. Listen carefully, my friend. The lotus flower grows in the muddiest waters. Yet it rises above the dirt and blooms pure and beautiful. This is the teaching of the lotus. Your struggles, your pain, your darkest moments are like the mud beneath the water. They are not something to be ashamed of, nor something to display to the world like a trophy. Instead, these struggles should be kept sacred, quietly held within like the roots of the lotus. When you share your struggles with everyone, what happens? Sometimes, people respond with kindness, but often, they may judge, misunderstand, or even gossip. Your pain becomes no longer yours. It becomes a story told by others, changed and twisted. The energy of your struggle disperses and weakens. Like the lotus whose roots break when pulled from the mud, your strength can be lost when struggles are exposed without care. In Buddhism, we learn that suffering is a natural part of life. It is not a secret to hide out of shame, but it is also not something to shout from the rooftops. There is a middle way, a path of mindful silence. Keeping your struggles sacred means you honor them by not scattering their power with careless words. You treat your suffering with respect, like a temple guarded by silence. The Zen Master often teaches, not everything needs to be spoken. Not every wound must be shown. This is not about hiding or pretending. It is about knowing what to share and when to hold back. Sometimes, the deepest healing happens in quiet moments of self-reflection and understanding, away from the noise of the world. Imagine a young lotus bud. It does not bloom overnight. It slowly opens its petals in the right time and under the right conditions. So, too, your healing and growth need quiet space to happen. Sharing your struggles prematurely is like trying to force the lotus to bloom too soon. It can cause damage, confusion, or loss of hope. In your life, you will face many difficulties: loss, failure, loneliness, disappointment. It is natural to want comfort from others. But true comfort comes not only from others, but from within. When you keep your struggles sacred, you allow yourself the chance to understand their lessons deeply. You listen to your pain like a gentle friend, not like a shouting enemy. The Buddha said that mindfulness is the path to the end of suffering. Mindfulness means being fully present with your experience, without judgment, without distraction. When you keep your struggles private, you practice mindfulness with them. You watch your feelings, you accept them, you let them change naturally. Sometimes, in the silence of your own mind, you find the greatest peace. You discover strength you did not know you had. You learn how to be your own best friend, your own healer. This is the sacred power of silence. When you share your struggles, ask yourself, am I ready? Am I sharing with someone who understands? Or am I simply trying to be heard? There's a difference. Sharing with those who truly understand and respect your journey can be healing. But sharing just to be heard, or to lighten your burden quickly, may bring more harm than good. There's also danger in becoming attached to your suffering story. When you share your pain often, it can become a part of your identity. People begin to see you only through your struggles. This can trap you in the past, stopping your growth. The lotus does not stay stuck in the mud. It rises and blooms. You, too, can rise beyond your struggles. Remember, the greatest teachers often speak softly or not at all about their own pain. They understand that the world is not always ready to receive these truths. Instead, they use their silence as a shield to protect their inner light. The silence around your struggles does not mean loneliness. It means respect. Respect for your own healing process. Respect for the sacredness of your experience. It means trusting that your pain will teach you what you need to know in the right time. Let me share a story with you. Once a disciple asked the Buddha why he did not always speak about the pain he must have felt. The Buddha smiled gently and said, "Some things, when spoken, lose their power. Like a flame in the wind, words can scatter what must remain steady and warm." The disciple nodded and learned to listen to his own silence. You must learn the same, to protect your inner flame. When you keep your struggles sacred, you are protecting your peace. You're giving yourself time to heal fully, not just to cover wounds with quick words. In this world, where everyone talks loudly and shares everything, the wise are those who know when to be quiet. Silence is not emptiness. It is fullness. It is the soil from which your lotus can bloom. So, when life is hard and the mud of your pain threatens to overwhelm you, remember the lotus. Stay rooted in your quiet strength. Keep your struggles close, like a precious treasure. Guard them not with fear, but with love. Because when you protect your struggles, you protect your future. You protect the pure flower that will rise from the mud and shine in the sun. The Zen way teaches us that the deepest healing happens inside, in silence, away from the eyes and ears of the world. Trust this process. Trust yourself. Trust the sacred silence. Do not rush to speak before you are ready. Do not scatter your pain like seeds in the wind. Keep your struggles sacred. Let them teach you. Let them grow you. And one day, like the lotus, you will bloom beautifully, pure, strong, and free. Empty cup wisdom. Don't share until you understand. Listen closely, my friend. Imagine a cup. It is empty, waiting to be filled. Now, if you try to pour new tea into a cup that is already full, what happens? The tea spills and is wasted. But if the cup is empty, it can receive the tea, hold it gently, and keep it warm. This simple image holds a great lesson about when and how to share what is inside you. Many people think that sharing everything they feel, think, or know will make them stronger, more connected, or happier. But the truth is, sharing without understanding is like pouring tea into a full cup. The essence spills away, and little is left to nourish. In life, your thoughts and emotions are like that tea. Before sharing, first empty your cup. This means to pause, to reflect, and to truly understand what is inside you. Only then can you share wisely. The Buddhist said, "Speak only when your words are better than silence." This teaching asks us to be careful. Why? Because our words carry power. They can heal or hurt, build or break, enlighten or confuse. When you share too soon, you risk losing the depth of what you carry. Imagine if you told a secret before you fully understood it yourself. How would that affect you? How would others respond? There's a story about a young monk who was eager to teach others about enlightenment, but his mind was still clouded with questions and confusion. One day, He spoke loudly about what he thought was truth. The elder monks listened and smiled gently. Later, they told him, "First, you must empty your cup of confusion before you fill it with wisdom to share." This teaches us that understanding must come before expression. When your mind is clear and your heart is calm, your words will carry true meaning. Many times, people share their worries and fears to feel lighter. But if these feelings are not fully felt and understood first, sharing can spread anxiety to others and create more confusion. It is like carrying a heavy stone. If you throw it away carelessly, it might hit someone and cause harm. But if you put it down gently and rest for a while, you can decide what to do with it. So, the Zen Master advises, before you speak, ask yourself, is my cup empty? Do I understand what I am about to share? Will my words bring peace or trouble? Silence is not emptiness. It is space. Space to breathe, to think, to see clearly. In this space, the mind can calm. In this calm, wisdom grows. When you keep your thoughts inside until you understand them, you protect your peace. You protect others from confusion. You prepare your words to be like seeds, small but powerful. Seeds that grow into strong, beautiful trees. Sometimes, the world pushes you to speak quickly. Social media, friends, family, they want answers, stories, opinions. But rushing to speak is like planting seeds on dry soil. They will not grow. Patience is part of wisdom. The Buddha practiced patience in silence. He did not rush to explain the deepest truths until the listener was ready. This is the true kindness, to share only when the time is right. If you find yourself overwhelmed with feelings, it is okay to remain quiet. Talk to yourself first, understand your feelings. Write down your thoughts. Meditate. Breathe deeply. Like the river that flows slowly through the mountains, your thoughts must move gently and with care. Do not let them flood out uncontrollably. When a cup is empty and your heart is ready, then your sharing can be a gift. People will listen because your words carry calmness and clarity. Remember, not everyone is ready to hear your truth. Just like a seed needs the right soil, your words need the right hearts to land on. If you share too much with those who are not ready, your wisdom may be wasted or worse, misunderstood. In Buddhism, this is called right speech, speaking at the right time to the right person with the right intention. This is why the Zen Master often remains silent. Silence is not weakness, but strength. It is a protection for the self and for others. Let your silence be a shield and a teacher. When you feel the urge to share, ask, am I speaking from understanding or from confusion? Am I helping or harming? Is this the right time? If the answer is no, then hold your words close. Guard your peace. Trust the silence. The journey of understanding yourself deeply takes time. There are no shortcuts, but every moment you spend in quiet reflection fills your cup with wisdom. And when your cup is full, then your words can flow like a gentle river, nourishing all who listen. Do not fear silence. Embrace it as a friend. In silence, the mind is clear, the heart is calm, the soul is free. Practice this every day. When thoughts come, watch them like clouds passing in the sky. Do not grab them, do not push them away. Let them pass. And when you feel ready, then share. This is the way of the empty cup. This is the way of true wisdom. So remember, the next time you want to speak about your fears, your dreams, or your deepest truths, first empty your cup. Understand yourself. Know your feelings. Reflect in quiet. Only then, let your words be the tea that nourishes the world. Because words spoken without understanding are like noise in the wind, forgotten and wasted. But words spoken from a calm heart and a clear mind are like rain on dry soil. They bring life and growth. This is the teaching of the Zen Master. This is the path of silence and wisdom. May you walk it gently. May your cup always be ready to receive and to give with care. The mirror within. Self-realizations are not public declarations. In the quiet garden of the mind, there grows a mirror. This mirror does not reflect the outside world, but shows what lies deep within. Many seek to share what they see in this mirror, the truths they discover about themselves. But listen closely, for the Zen Master tells you, Not all reflections are meant to be displayed for others to see. Why? Because the path of self-realization is delicate and personal. When a person sees themselves clearly, they begin a journey that is as silent as the falling leaf. Sharing this too early, too loudly, is like shouting into a forest where the echo only disturbs the stillness. Imagine a young bamboo shoot breaking through the earth. It does not announce its presence with fanfare. It grows quietly, bending with the wind, gaining strength unseen. Self-realization is much like this shoot. It needs time to grow strong, deep roots, and balance before it can stand tall and be seen by the world. When you rush to declare your insights, you risk scattering your strength. Your thoughts, like fragile glass, may break under the weight of others' judgments or misunderstandings. The mirror within is best cared for in silence, reflection, and gentle nurturing. The Buddha once said that true wisdom is like a deep well. It is quiet on the surface, but full of life beneath. To draw water from this well too often or too hastily is to muddy it. Likewise, sharing your inner discoveries too soon can cloud your understanding and shake your foundation. The world outside often wants answers quickly. Immediate truths, quick fixes, loud declarations. But inner wisdom unfolds slowly. It needs patience. It asks you to sit with your reflections, to watch your thoughts like a quiet river flowing by. It teaches that some truths are not for sharing. They are for growing inside. You may feel tempted to tell others your deepest realizations. This is natural. We are social beings, and sharing can bring connection. But the Zen Master advises, choose carefully. Ask yourself, is this person ready to hear? Is my insight fully formed? Will sharing this bring growth or harm? Sometimes your insight is still a seed, not yet a flower. Revealing it prematurely invites criticism, doubt, or confusion. Not for others, but for yourself. Your mind may become clouded, your heart troubled. In Buddhist teaching, the practice of mindfulness is closely tied to silence. Mindfulness allows you to see clearly without reacting immediately. This clarity is a shield for your inner growth. It tells you when to speak and when to stay quiet. Think of your self-realization as a precious pearl. You would not leave it lying in the open where it could be lost or taken. Instead, you keep it safe, polishing it quietly, preparing it for the right moment to share, if sharing is needed at all. Often, the deepest growth happens in solitude. The Buddha spent years meditating alone before teaching. His insights were born in silence, and only when they were fully ripe did he share them with others. So, do not rush to show your inner discoveries. Give them time to deepen. Let your mind be a calm lake reflecting the sky, not a stormy, sea-tossing words carelessly. This does not mean hiding your growth from the world, but honoring its pace and depth. When your insight is ready, it will shine naturally, without forcing or loud claims. Remember, self-realization is a personal journey, not a public event. It is for your peace, your balance, your true understanding. When you protect your inner reflections with silence and patience, you allow them to transform you deeply and truly. Others may not see this growth at first. They may ask why you do not share more or speak louder. But the wise remain steady, like the mountain that does not shout its height. In time, your quiet wisdom will influence others, not by words alone, but by the calm strength in your presence. So, sit with your mirror. Watch your reflections with kindness. Keep your self-realizations sacred. Let them grow strong in silence. The Zen Master reminds you, the most profound truths need not be spoken to be understood. Sometimes, the greatest wisdom is held in the quiet space between words. Bonds and boundaries, silence in relationships. Listen carefully, my friend. In life, the connections we make with others, our relationships, are like threads weaving the fabric of our existence. These threads bring warmth and color to our lives. But if we pull them too hard, or if we let too many needles prick, the fabric will tear. There is a gentle art in relationships, a balance between openness and silence. This is what I wish to share with you today. the wisdom of silence and the bonds we hold dear. We live in a world that often tells us, share everything, be honest always, let your feelings flow freely. This sounds good, does it not? But like all things, even honesty has a time and place. The truth, when spoken without care, can wound like a sharp sword. Imagine a quiet pond. If you throw a stone into it, ripples spread far and wide, disturbing the peace of the water's surface. Our words, especially in close relationships, are like stones. If thrown carelessly, they disturb the calm, sometimes causing harm that lasts longer than we expect. There is great power in choosing silence over speech. Not because silence means hiding or avoiding, but because silence can protect the delicate balance of trust and love. When we share everything with others, even the smallest doubts, fears, or frustrations, we risk overburdening them. People are not always ready to carry our troubles. And sometimes, sharing too much invites misunderstanding or judgment. In Buddhism, there's a teaching about right speech. This means speaking truthfully, kindly, and at the right moment. But what is equally important is knowing when not to speak. If you feel angry with someone close, do not rush to speak your anger. If you feel hurt, pause before you share your pain. Often, these emotions are like passing clouds. If we wait patiently, they will pass, and clarity will return. A wise person understands boundaries, not to separate, but to protect. Boundaries are not walls to shut people out, but gentle fences to keep what is precious safe. Think about your own mind. How many times have you spoken in haste and regretted it later? How many times did silence have more healing power than words? In relationships, silence can be a space of respect. It allows each person to breathe, to reflect, and to find peace inside themselves before responding. Sometimes, the deepest understanding between people happens without words. A shared glance, a smile, a simple presence can communicate more than thousands of spoken sentences. Do not mistake silence for distance or coldness. It is often a sign of deep respect, care, and wisdom. Buddha himself spent much time in silent meditation. He taught that peace begins within, and that peace within grows stronger when not scattered by constant talk. Remember, sharing your every thought or feeling with everyone is not necessary. Your relationships will thrive when nourished with kindness, patience, and quiet understanding. Guard your inner world, and guard your close relationships with gentle silence when needed. In this way, your bonds will become like the sturdy roots of a great tree, hidden beneath the ground, strong enough to support the branches that reach toward the sky. Do not fear silence in your relationships. Embrace it as a wise friend, a quiet guardian of love. When silence is practiced with mindfulness, it becomes a language of the heart. Learn to listen not only with your ears, but with your soul. In silence, there is space for true listening, without judgment, without hurry. This listening deepens trust and heals wounds that words sometimes open. Remember that sharing is not about emptying yourself into others. It is about offering what is ready, what is needed with love and care. In the moments when words are scarce, let your presence be full. Be the calm in the storm of others' emotions. Be the quiet light that helps guide them home. Sometimes, not sharing is the greatest gift you can give to someone, the gift of space, peace, and respect. So, practice silence not as avoidance, but as protection, not as weakness, but as strength. The strength to hold what is fragile, the strength to keep sacred what is precious, the strength to love deeply, without fear or haste. In the sacred dance of relationships, learn the steps of silence. You will find that your bonds grow deeper, your hearts closer, and your peace greater. Silence is not emptiness. It is full of love, understanding, and presence. Hold this teaching close, dear friend. Let it guide you as you walk among the people you cherish. The most beautiful connections are often those nurtured in quiet care. And now, carry this wisdom in your heart and watch how your relationships transform. Mind is a temple. What should never leave your thoughts? Listen carefully, dear friend. Your mind is a sacred temple. It holds everything you are, your thoughts, feelings, dreams, and fears. Like a temple, it deserves respect and care. But what if I tell you there are things that should never leave this temple? Things that must be guarded quietly inside, never spoken lightly, never shared with just anyone. In our daily lives, we meet many people. Some bring joy, some bring troubles. Some listen with kindness, others with judgment. The words you share, the thoughts you expose, they travel far beyond your knowing. They can be twisted, misunderstood, or even used against you. This is why your mind's secrets are precious and must be treated with deep wisdom. The Buddha said that our mind shapes our world. If the mind is calm and pure, the world looks peaceful. If it is restless and troubled, the world feels dark and chaotic. So what we hold inside is the root of everything we experience. Protect it as you would a rare flower, because once it is scattered, it cannot be gathered again easily. There are desires that arise quietly inside you. Wishes for happiness, for success, for love. These are natural, but sharing these desires openly, especially with those who may not understand, can weaken them. Why? Because when desire is exposed, it often turns into craving, and craving leads to suffering. Imagine you are carrying a precious stone in your hand. If you show it to everyone who passes, some may want to take it, others may mock it, some may not care at all. But if you keep it close to your heart, only sharing it with those you trust deeply, it stays safe and its shine remains untouched. Similarly, your personal struggles and spiritual insights are like this precious stone. They are fragile in the hands of careless ears. A friend may listen kindly today, but forget tomorrow. A listener may twist your words to suit their own needs. This is the nature of the world, full of noise and distraction. Remember the story of the monk who found a rare lotus in the forest. He admired its beauty, but did not pluck it. He knew that taking it away would damage the roots, and the flower would soon die. Instead, he protected it silently, letting it bloom fully where it was. Your mind's sacred thoughts are like that lotus. There are also times when sharing is necessary, with a trusted teacher or a wise friend who walks the same path. But even then, speak only when it is the right moment and with clear intention. Speak to grow, not to boast. Speak to heal, not to hurt. The Buddha taught right speech, which means speaking truthfully, kindly, and meaningfully. But he also taught the power of silence. That silence can protect your mind's temple from unnecessary harm. Think about your worries, fears, and doubts. How many times have you shared these only to find that they grow larger instead of smaller? The mind feeds on attention. If you give your fears too much space, they will become monsters. But if you keep them quiet, observe them gently, they shrink and lose power. This is why mindfulness is key. Be aware of what you think before you speak it. Ask yourself, is this necessary? Is this kind? Is this true? Does this bring peace or pain? If the answer is no, then better to keep it inside your temple. When the mind is peaceful, it radiates calmness to your body, your actions, and the people around you. But if the mind is restless, full of chatter and unguarded thoughts, it creates confusion and suffering everywhere. The world today encourages us to share everything, every thought, every feeling, every moment. But not all sharing is wise. Sometimes, the greatest strength is in the quiet, in holding back, in protecting your inner world from the storm of others' opinions. If you scatter your thoughts carelessly, you lose your power. Like seeds cast to the wind, they may never grow where you want them to. But when you plant seeds in good soil, water them with patience, and protect them with silence, they grow strong and bear fruit. So, protect your mind's temple. Guard your most sacred thoughts. Share only with those who truly understand and respect the space you hold inside. Learn to listen to the silence between your words. That silence holds the deepest wisdom. The mind is like a garden. If you allow weeds of gossip, fear, and anger to grow by sharing too much, your garden becomes wild and tangled. But if you tend it carefully, planting seeds of kindness, patience, and wisdom, your garden becomes a place of peace and beauty. This does not mean hiding or lying. It means choosing wisely what to show and what to keep hidden. It means knowing that not all thoughts need a voice. Some truths are meant to be felt, understood quietly, and nurtured within. In Buddhism, the path to enlightenment is often a silent journey. The greatest insights come not from loud words, but from quiet meditation. The Buddha himself spent long hours in silence, listening to his own mind, watching it without judgment. When you treat your mind as a temple, you begin to respect your own thoughts. You become careful with what you speak, and you find joy in silence. You understand that silence is not emptiness. It is fullness, a space where wisdom grows. So, dear friend, ask yourself, what thoughts are you guarding in your temple today? Are you protecting them with care, or are you scattering them to the wind, hoping for attention or approval? Remember, some things must never leave your mind because they're the seeds of your true self. They are fragile, sacred, and powerful. Keep them close. Keep them silent. Let them grow strong in the quiet. There are things in life that are hidden, unseen by the eyes, but felt deeply in the heart. These things, if spoken aloud without care, may lead us away from peace and understanding. Today, let me speak to you about the spiritual dangers of oversharing. What happens when we reveal too much of our inner world to the outside? Listen carefully. In the world we live in, many believe that sharing everything is good. They think if they tell all their worries, their fears, or their secrets, they will feel lighter. But that is not always true. Sometimes, when you give away your inner thoughts too freely, you lose something precious: your strength, your clarity, your calm. Imagine a glass full of clear water. If you pour it out to many people, eventually the glass becomes empty. Your mind and spirit are much like that glass. When you share too much, you may end up feeling empty, confused, or disturbed. The Buddha taught about the importance of mindfulness, being aware of what we say and when we say it. Words have great power. They can heal, but they can also hurt. And when we share what is too private or too raw, words can turn against us. There's a story about a monk who was asked many questions by curious people. He answered only those questions that helped others find peace. But he remained silent on matters that could cause confusion or harm. This is the wisdom of knowing when to speak and when to hold back. Oversharing can attract unwanted attention, envy, or even harm. When you reveal your fears or weaknesses to the wrong person, it might be used against you. This is not about mistrust, but about protecting your inner calm and progress. Your spiritual journey is like a delicate flower. If you expose it too early to harsh winds, it may wither. But if you keep it sheltered, it will bloom in its own time. Many people feel the need to explain themselves, to justify their feelings, or to seek approval by telling their stories again and again. But this can trap the mind in a cycle of attachment and restlessness. The wise know that true peace comes from within. It is not found by seeking validation from others. Sharing too much can make the mind dependent on outside acceptance, which is never steady or reliable. When you share your inner world, do it with great care. Ask yourself, is this the right time? Is this the right person? Will this sharing bring peace or disturbance? In Buddhist teaching, silence is a form of speech. It is a way to protect the sacredness of your mind. Silence holds space for reflection, healing, and growth. Sometimes, the best response to questions or curiosity is gentle silence. It shows strength and wisdom. It tells others that some things are too precious to be scattered like leaves in the wind. In this age of constant communication, where every thought is shared in an instant, it is easy to forget the value of keeping some things within. But remember, not everything needs to be said for it to be true or real. Your mind is a temple. Will you allow to leave your temple affects your energy and peace? If you let in too much noise from outside, your temple may become a place of chaos. Oversharing clouds the mind. It makes it harder to focus on what truly matters, your path to awakening and peace. There is also the danger of misunderstanding. When you share your inner thoughts, People may interpret them through their own fears and biases. This can create confusion and pain where none was needed. The Buddha taught that the mind that guards itself, well, does not easily fall into suffering. Guarding your thoughts and words is a way to guard your peace. A peaceful mind is like a calm lake. When the surface is clear, the deepest truths can be seen. But when the lake is stirred by careless words and actions, the reflection becomes blurry. Therefore, learn to observe yourself. Notice when you feel the urge to speak everything in your mind. Pause and breathe. Ask yourself if it serves your peace. Sometimes, the mind wants to speak out of fear or desire for connection. But true connection comes from understanding and respect, not from spilling every secret. If you hold your thoughts gently, they will mature. Your inner wisdom will grow stronger. And when the time is right, you will share what is needed, not what is impulsive. This discipline is not easy. It requires patience and self-awareness. But it is a path to freedom. Freedom from the chaos of the mind and the pain of misunderstanding. Remember, the best gardener prunes the tree carefully. Too much cutting harms the tree, but careful pruning helps it grow strong and healthy. Your words are like seeds. Plant them wisely. They will grow into actions and results. When you learn to protect your inner self from unnecessary sharing, you build a fortress of peace inside. This fortress cannot be shaken by the opinions of others or by the storms of life. Practice silence as a friend. Use it to listen deeply to yourself, to the world, and to the quiet voice of your own heart. In silence, you will find answers that words cannot give. You will find strength that noise cannot create. Do not fear silence. Embrace it as the wise do. Let it be the space where your true self can grow. In time, you will notice a calmness that no outside event can disturb. This calmness is the sign of inner wisdom. So, the next time you feel the urge to share everything, pause. Reflect on what you really need to say, and what is better kept sacred. This is not to say you should never speak, but to speak with mindfulness, with care, and with respect for the sacred nature of your inner world. When you share wisely, your words become blessings. When you stay silent wisely, your mind becomes a temple. Both speech and silence are paths to peace. Choose the path that honors your journey. Do not scatter your precious energy on things that do not serve your awakening. Hold your mind gently. Protect your sacred space. This is the spiritual way of the wise. Listen carefully, my dear friend. You have traveled far in this journey of learning. You have heard many words, many stories, but now I will speak to you plainly with the quiet voice of the Zen Master. This is the last step. This is the deepest teaching. In this world, we often want to speak everything from our hearts. We want to tell others about our pain, our hopes, our secrets. It feels natural, but there's a quiet power in keeping some things inside. Not from fear or shame, but from wisdom. The things you carry within you, your true feelings, your deepest thoughts. These are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of your mind. If you show them too early to the outside world, the winds may blow them away. The rains may wash them away. The harsh sun may burn them. But if you keep them safe, hidden in the dark earth, with patience and care, one day they will sprout strong and beautiful. They will grow into something no one can take away from you. I want you to think about silence. Not the silence that is empty or lonely, but the silence that is full. Full of peace, full of strength, full of understanding. This silence is like a deep lake, still and clear. When you keep your sacred things in this silence, they become clearer, purer. Do you know why the Buddha sometimes chose to say nothing? Because some questions cannot be answered by words. They need to be experienced. They need time to ripen inside the heart. In your life, there will be moments when people ask you about your struggles, your dreams, your failures. It is tempting to share, to explain, to seek comfort. But remember, not everyone is ready to understand. Some will listen, but their words may not help. Some will judge, and their judgment will hurt you. Your inner world is a temple, a sacred place where only you can enter fully. Guard it gently. Let only those who truly care and understand step inside. When you share too much, too soon, You give away your energy. You scatter your focus. You lose your peace. Like a candle blown by the wind, your flame flickers and dims. But when you keep some things to yourself, your flame burns steadily. It shines bright, warm, and clear. Think of the lotus flower. It grows in muddy water, but its petals stay clean and beautiful. The mud does not touch the flower. In the same way, keep your private thoughts away from the muddy noise of careless talk. This does not mean hiding or being dishonest. It means choosing wisely. It means understanding that not all things need to be said. Not all feelings need to be shown. There's great freedom in silence. When you stop sharing every detail, you stop seeking approval or pity. You stop needing others to fix your pain or celebrate your joy. You become your own refuge. This is the true meaning of strength, to be complete in yourself, without needing to prove it to others. When you hold your silence, you give space for your mind to settle. When the mind is still, the truth becomes clearer. When the truth is clear, you find peace. Remember, the world is full of noise. People talk to be heard, to be noticed, to fill their own loneliness. But you can choose to be different. You can choose to listen more than speak. You can choose to be the calm in the storm. In this calmness, you discover yourself, your true self, beyond words, beyond appearances, beyond judgments. You may feel lonely at times, holding your silence. That is natural, but remember, the greatest masters of wisdom were often silent, unknown to many. Their power was quiet, their presence deep. Do not be afraid of silence. Do not fear being misunderstood. The Zen path teaches us that silence is a door. When you enter it, you find the boundless space of your own heart. So, my friend, I ask you, what is it that you carry that should never be shared? What secret pain, what hidden joy, what sacred truth is yours alone to hold? Hold it gently. Protect it with your silence. Nourish it with your patience. When the time is right, when the soil is ready, your seed will grow. But until then, trust the silence. Trust yourself. In the silence, you become like the mountain, strong, unmoved by the winds of gossip or opinion. You become like the deep ocean, vast, calm, and full of hidden treasures. You may wonder, but Zen Master, how do I know when to speak and when to remain silent? The answer is simple. Speak only when your words bring peace, healing, or truth. Speak only when you are certain they will not harm yourself or others. Otherwise, keep your silence. Words are like arrows. Once released, they cannot be taken back. Choose your arrows wisely, and when you must share, speak from the heart, with kindness and clarity. But if your words come from anger, fear, or the need to be heard, better to stay silent. Your silence is not emptiness. It is presence. It is mindfulness. It is love. Remember, many people in this world do not understand the power of silence. They fear it, or confuse it with weakness. But you now know better. You know that silence can protect your spirit, your peace, and your path. You know that some things are too precious to be scattered like leaves in the wind. So carry your sacred things quietly, humbly, with strength. Let your life be your message. Let your actions speak louder than your words. When you become this way, you walk the path of the Buddha. You walk the way of true wisdom. Do not be afraid to keep your silence. Do not feel lonely in it. You are connected to all things. The earth beneath you, the sky above, the silent stars that watch over you. In this connection, your silence is heard in ways words never could. So go now, with peace in your heart. Walk your path quietly but firmly. Carry your secret like a precious jewel. And know this: the greatest wisdom is found not in what is spoken, but in what is kept sacred and silent. This is the last lesson, the final secret. Never share this thing with anyone unless the time is right, the heart is ready, and the silence has been honored. May you find strength in your silence. May your path be clear and calm. May your heart remain a temple of peace. Remember always, silence is not empty, it is full. The Zen Master bows to you with respect and wishes you peace.